Hello guys. Hello guys, I am Kalidas Tapara. Today we are discussing on dissimilar metal part 2. Max's structure ability in the part 1. By mistakenly this contain not described in part 1. So service condition consideration, so I describe in this chapter. Service consideration, there is likelihood of significant chemical composition gradient in the well metal, particularly in the regions adjacent to the base metal. In addition, operation at elevated temperature can cause interdiffusion between the well metal and the base metal, that in turn result in microstructure changes. A joint between two dissimilar metals has variation in atom concentration and activity across the world. This activity gradient can be entrapped in terms of chemical potential gradient that can result in atom diffusion, which are against the concentration gradient multiple component alloy. Thus, it is difficult to predict with absolute certainty from concentration data along the migration of specific atoms across the dissimilar metal joint during high temperature service. Movement of atom over a period of time alter local alloy composition and produce change in the mechanical and physical property of the metal in the region. Dissimilar metal weldment between the low alloy steel and an austenitic stainless steel with an austenitic stainless steel filler metal illustrate this problem. The carbon content of low alloy steel is generally higher than that of austenitic stainless steel well metal. The relatively large amount of carbide forming element such as chromium in stainless steel tend to lower the chemical activity of the carbon. This produces a large chemical potential gradient for carbon diffusion from low alloy steel to stainless steel weld metal, which can occur during post-weld heat treatment or during service at elevated temperature. As a result, decarburization and sometimes grain growth take place in the heat affected zone of the low alloy steel that lower its mechanical property. At the same time, the adjacent stainless steel weld metal is carburized and complex carbide from the buildup of carbide, which substantially increase the hardness of the weld metal in this zone and increase the likelihood of crack. Filler metal selection. Selection of filler metal is an important factor in producing a dissimilar metal joint that will perform well in service. One object of dissimilar metal welding is to minimize undesirable metallurgical interaction between the metal. The filler metal should be compatible with both base metal and also be capable of being deposited with minimum of dilution. Ideally, the filler metal must provide a weld joint that has following characteristics. Soundness. The filler metal must be capable of some dilution with base metal without forming a crack. sensitivity well metal. It must not cause flow such as porosity or inclusion in the well metal. Physical property. The physical properties of the well metal should be compatible with those of the both base metal. Physical properties. Thermal expansion coefficient are particularly important with respect to internal stress during cyclic service, cyclic temperature service. The thermal expansion coefficient of well metal should be intermediate between those of the base metal. Equal consideration should be given to the thermal and electrical conductivities when those are important design requirement. Mechanical property. The well metal should be at last as strong, ductile as the weaker of the base metal under service condition. Corrosion properties. As the corrosion resistance of the well metal equal or exceed the resistance of the both base metals to avoid preferential attack in the well joint. This apply to corrosion, high temperature oxidation and embrittlement by sulfur, phosphorus, lead or other low melting metals. Two selection criteria that should be govern the selection of the proper filler metal for welding two DC metal are as follows. The candidate filler metal provide the joint design requirements such as mechanical property or corrosion resistance. The candidate filler metal must fulfill the weldability criteria with respect to dilution, melting temperature and other physical properties requirement of the weldment. In addition, the above the following suggestion should be considered. The filler metal should be one normally recommended for welding. The base metal having lower melting temperature of the base metal is white. During welding, a suitable filler metal will fuse satisfactorily with that base metal. The molten filler metal should also fit and bond to the face of the other part in a manner similar to brace welding. Sorry. If high temperature filler metal was used inadvertently, filler metal was used in advertently, dilution from low melting base metal would likely be excessive. Filler metal very ductile and tolerate dilution by certain base metal without cracking or suffering a significant decrease in mechanical property. The filler metal should be low in interstitial element carbon, oxygen, hydrogen and nitrogen. Such filler metal generally be more ductile, more suitable and less prone to hot cracking than similar filler metal that has interstitial element content. Commercially available electrode and welding rod should be evaluated first from dissimilar metal welding application because of economy and availability. It is standard filler metal is not suitable. The possibility of using special metal cold electrode modified covered electrode or standard wire welding rod should be investigation. Sorry. Welding process selection. Selection of welding process to make a given DC Miller metal joint is almost important as selection to the proper filler metal. The depth of fusion into the base metal and the resulting dilution may vary with different welding process and technique. It is not uncommon with shielded metal arc welding for the filler metal to be diluted up to 30% with base metal. The amount of dilution can be modified somewhat by adjusting welding technique. For example, the electrode can be manipulated so that the arc impinging property of the previously deposited weld metal. The dilution role can be kept between 25% with the technique. However, the base metal, the weld bed reinforcement will be high but not necessarily objectable if dilution from one base metal is less detrimental than from other. The arc should be directed toward the metal. This technique is also applicable to gas junction arc welding. This is called GTAW technique. Dilution rate with gas metal arc welding can range from 10 to 50% depending upon the type of metal transfer and the welding manipulation. Spray transfer gives the greatest dilution, not short circuiting transfer the less dilution. Spray transfer gives the greatest dilution and short circuit transfer the less dilution. Penetration with submerged arc welding can be greater depending on polarity and can result in more dilution. Narrow weld, high depth to weld ratio can be produced by electro beam and laser beam welding. A high density beam can provide very narrow weld joint with minimum melting of base metal. If filler metal is required, an interlayer of appropriate thickness can be replaced in lightly fitted square groove joint, or filler metal may be added with an auxiliary wire feed device. Regardless of the process, dilution is also affected by other factors, including joint design and fit up. It is always best to have a minimum uniform dilution along the joint. Variation in dilution may reduce inconsistent joint properties. With resistance spot and seam welding of the lap joint and interlayerly of appropriate thickness can be placed between the overlap sheet metal part. This interlayer can melt and alloy with the molten base metal to form a nugget. An alternative to join the interlayer to each base metal with separate nugget produced simultaneously. Thank you.